how has the industry changed since you kind of started and entered into it, and where do you think it is going?
The industry, or ourselves?
I guess the data analytics within retail.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of debate at the moment whether the industry will be dominated by outside solutions or inside solutions. I believe it's a mix of the two. We've gone down this philosophy that whatever needs to be developed, you should be able to implement in your own pipelines. So you have that full control at the end of the day, but it doesn't mean it excludes solutions from the outside. So for instance, ChatGPT is something you can build into your own system, or GPT-3 actually build into your own system and utilize it to improve whatever you're doing. But there's many views outside that says, to the likes of Google, that's got all the money in the world, they're not going to drive this whole process. I'm not of that view. I think you always need to own your own strategy, and you need to own your own business, and you need to drive your own success. But I think it's going to change significantly in the next couple of years. I think the technology from the sensors collecting data is going to explode. I think it's going to be every data point that could possibly be collected is going to be collected by someone. I think the technology on the cloud, we on Google Cloud Platform, and obviously there's Azure and AWS and many others, but I think that's been solved to some extent. So the processing power, the storage power is there. I think the AI and the ML is going to grow exponentially over the next couple of years, particularly in non-traditional areas such as NLP and which is already starting.
100%.
Yeah, and interpretation of pictures and video and that sort of thing is going to grow exponentially. How all of this fits together is going to be the key. So the people that can make it one solution are going to be successful. The people that concentrate on silos are going to have only one piece of the puzzle, which is they're probably going to lose it over time. So are we keeping up with the pace of this expansion of technology? I think everyone's trying to, and probably the hardest part of all is to always stay abreast of the newest and the greatest that's come out. Lots of competition between Google and Microsoft and AWS on who's going to bring the next big thing out. I think there's been a couple of ChatGPTs delivered from the various vendors of late. Every day there's a new announcement.
Yes.
And the challenge is what is important and what's not important, and distinguishing between that.
To pull into your world and to see how you can fit it and how it can be applicable and how it can be used.
But at the end of the day, it's all about the customer, and the company that can deliver that best value to the customer is going to be the winner.
100%. And then maybe specifically now on DNA within Pepkor, as to what is next for you guys? What is next in terms of where is the heading?
Yeah, so we've got a very nicely laid out strategy on where we believe this should be going. Don't necessarily want to share our whole strategy with you, but I think the essence for us is, again, that exponential growth. How do we build something that builds on top of each other and eventually optimize at a global, in our space, at a global scale to get the most out for all of the businesses. But the elements that will be peripheral that's going to become important is additional data points that you need to bring in. And I think that's the thing that still needs to be explored to a large extent, because that's very much dependent on the retailers and where they expand into. Digitization for me is just a form of getting more data, and
yes,
sure many people won't agree, but yes, exactly.
It's streamlining the manual, removing the manual workflows, streamlining the workflows, and thereby you get a lot more data into the system.
Precisely.
That's in a good structure.
Precisely. I think people just need to be cautious on not trying to buy products that's very siloed and paint themselves into a corner. And that's what we try and do differently. We try to build an infrastructure that incorporates everything into one space. So you have that holistic view and you have that ability to optimize globally across the retail instead of just having siloed solutions that solves one problem at a time.
That actually reminds me a lot about the general shift worldwide from just a software-centric solution. And when you mention silo, it's a software system that you used or developed within, so for example, procurement or within a specific area in the business, to, oh, we've got all this data in one place. Can't there be smaller apps, a data-centric solution where the software works with, incorporates the data that's already available rather than living in its own isolated world, and therefore getting a lot more, giving a lot more value to the organization as a whole.
Exactly. The more data you have, the more features you create. The more features you create, the more of the models can use the features. The better the models get, the better solutions get, and the better the customer experience gets. So that's where we sort of see this thing going to.
Massive.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I think the combination of customer and retail is becoming a lot closer than what it used to be. And I think all the silos are going to be broken down, and the solutions are going to be optimized at a global scale.